Welcome. Today I will at last be able to review a gamer's chair, namely the Secret Lab Titan Evo. I don't have it with me, but I sat on it this week and took a few pictures to show you the pros and the cons. The third thing which is worth mentioning is that this chair comes with options and sizes, and the model on which I sat was bought by a patient of mine, and it was the XL model, which was a mistake from his side because clearly he's a bit taller than me, but not much. I'm 173. And you see the impact of this choice is quite direct, is you see that the chair comes too close to the back of my knees, and therefore, well, so-called the seat depth is too big for me. So, it's difficult for me to reach the backrest and therefore support my pelvis. Now, the problem with the specs as they are given by Secret Lab is that they don't give you a precise dimension for the seat pan. They say that they have 3 sizes and they recommend that depending on your total height you choose this or that model, but actually there's no real proportionality between your total size and the size of each of your segments. In other words, you could be tall with long thighs or tall with short thighs. And therefore, I can say that the XL is too big for me, but I cannot say if the small size is okay for me. So if I would order it online, well, there would be a risk on that front. You also see the impact of the size with the width between the armrests. You see, I would need to spread my wings, so to say, so as to use the armrests, and that would be a bit problematic. Okay, so these are things that don't fit me on this chair, but we could argue that it's due to the choice of the size. There are other things which I find a bit problematic and which are not related to this. Mainly, what is problematic is the fact that there's no real proper lumbar support on this chair. You see, the backrest comes quite straight at an angle from the seat pan, whilst a good chair, such as this one, should have a shape which allows you to fit the butt, and the chair should come back forward so as to hold your belt. That shape is missing from the Secret Lab chair, making the lumbar support quite inefficient. Now, you can argue that you can use the wheel on the side of the backrest to increase the lumbar support, but the problem is that this lumbar support does not come at birth height. It comes somewhere around your mid-back. Hence, if you would increase the pressure, well, the pressure would not be increased at the right place. The other thing is that this chair is extremely firm, so to say, even hard. And, well, for bony people, it might not be super comfortable. However, there are also advantages to it for some people. You see that the XL model is recommended for users up to 180 kilograms, and that is quite rare. A normal chair is certified until 120 kilos, some of them 140, but when you want to have a chair for bigger weights than that, you usually need to go to the 24 hours chairs, which are way more expensive. So we could say that despite the fact that it has a lumbar support which I really find so-so, the Secret Lab chair is maybe something that the tall and heavier users could consider. Heavier users who are not tall would probably not be comfortable on this chair. Generally speaking, this lack of lumbar support is something that you will find on more or less every gamer chair. This is why they put an additional pillow sometimes, but it's not as good as a chair which is shaped for holding your belt. This is the biggest drawback of gamer's chair. The second drawback of gamer's chairs is that when you take a leather or vinyl covering, they tend to be slippery, meaning that you might do this, and you might do this even more if you have the bad habit to rest your shoulder blades on the backrest. You see, that creates a momentum for your pelvis. So, gamer's chair are meant to be very impressive when you have the cam in front of the user, but honestly, most of those I know are not as ergonomic as a proper office chair.